Hey everyone, it's Danica with DC Woodworks, and today in this video, I'm going to show you how to lace in new hardwood floor to your existing hardwood. For this video, I have partnered with East Coast Specialty Hardwoods here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and they were able to mill up from a sample the exact same hardwood floor. It made it so much easier. Yes, I am a carpenter, but no, I have not done a lace in, feather in project before. What do we call it? Lace in or feather in? Patching, I'm not sure. If you would have asked me halfway through the project, would I tackle this one again? My answer might have been a little bit different. But yes, now that I have done it, I would do the project again. Anyway, let's get to it.
It is bad.
I took the wall down in the home that I'm flipping, and over 80% of the main living area already has oak hardwood that's in really good shape, and I didn't want to take it all up, so I figured now would be the perfect time to learn how to lace it in. Taking out the floor was the easy part. Remove the smaller pieces first, that way you can give yourself some wiggle room for the longer ones, and just make sure that when you do take them out, you stagger your pieces so there's not one continual line of where the floor meets the old floor. I saw a few people successfully use a hammer drill to remove them by drilling a 1-inch hole and then hammer drilling it out. This method did not work for me at all. So then I tried my second option, which is probably more accessible for most people anyway, and that is just making several cuts along the length of your board so that you can take them out in slivers. Most DIY and homeowners have circ saws, and a lot of them probably don't have hammer drills. So I used my 4.5-inch Dewalt circ saw, which has quickly become my most used tool simply because of its size. I would 100% recommend picking one up because it can be used in so many DIY projects and it's just so lightweight and easy to use. I set my blade to the depth of the hardwood and plunge cut the wood. If you don't know what plunge cutting means, it's actually quite simple. So you pull your guard up, try it on a couple of test pieces first, but you're gonna pull your guard up and then start your saw, slowly plunging it into the floor, and when it reaches the full depth, release, and then keep cutting. This is a great way to take out longer pieces because then when you remove the middle section, the two sides come out quite easy. There is another way to do it, and that would be manually. I personally don't ever want to do that again, but it's definitely able to be done. So if you don't have any of these tools, scratch that. You're gonna need these tools, so don't do it manually. Once all your pieces are removed, you can start to lace in your floor. In the beginning, I used a full 8-foot piece of flooring and quickly realized that when you use a piece that long, it's super hard to tap into place. It's just so much board, so using a shorter piece works a lot easier. So my first tip is to cut a board 4 to 6 inches longer than the piece you have removed. For example, if the piece you removed is 36 inches, cut a piece that's 40 inches. Trust me, forcing in a board 3 or 4 times the size is way harder. I started questioning if I should have cut my boards back as far as I did, and my answer is yes, I would still do this because your floor will flow a lot better than having your new pieces cut super short and close to where the wall was, and then possibly being able to see a clear divide from old to new. Yes, cut them back. See what I mean? I started to get smart and realized this guy here that I'm putting in is so much shorter and went in so much easier. It was still taking a really long time. So I decided to go to Instagram and ask people what they have done, and I got a really cool tip. I'm surprised I didn't see this in any of the 20-something videos I watched before tackling the project, but this is why I'm making my own video, and here's a tip that's going to cut your time in half. Grab an old candle, heat it up a bit, and run the tongues of your board through it before lacing them in. The candle wax will act as a lubricant and allow your boards to slide in a lot easier. Lacing in the new hardwood floor is probably one of my favorite projects to date. This 8-foot section of lacing it in was a bit time consuming, but once I figured out how to do it, the rest of the pieces went in pretty smooth. Yes, I would absolutely tackle this project again. In my books, there's nothing better than hardwood floor. It is the king of all floors. Okay guys, so now that I'm home editing, I'm realizing that I didn't do an outro or an ending. You're probably wondering if I'm keeping the flooring 2 different colors. No, I'm not. I'm splitting my flooring into 2 videos. One being the one you just watched, and the second one being how to properly sand and stain and clear coat a large amount of floor. So that one's going to be coming next. Click subscribe if you haven't. That sounded really good. Click subscribe, and you'll be notified when it comes out.